Hello, fabulous listeners. Thanks for tuning in to All Bodies Outside. This is your host, Brian Peterson. This episode's guest is Thibault Delacroix, who is a certified running coach and the owner of Nomad Runner Spirit. You can learn more about Thibault's coaching service at www.nomadrunnerspirit.com. Thibault, it's great to have you on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone.
Where are you tuning in from today?
Right now, I'm in Adelaide, South Australia.
Wow. And
Yeah.
how long have you been there for?
It's been a year in Adelaide, and before that, I spent 2 years in Tasmania, just small island, South Australia. Just beautiful island, but really small.
Yeah. And were you in Canada before Tasmania?
I spent 2 years and a half in Canada before that, and been traveling a bit in South America before.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. I've never been to the Southern Hemisphere, so I'll need to come visit you in Adelaide.
Whenever you want. It's a great fun path here.
Yeah. And so right now it's you're probably transitioning into spring, is that?
Yeah. We're just reaching, I think, this weekend the daylight change thing, and we're going straight to spring and summer in what, a month and a half, something like that.
Okay. And what's your favorite season for running down in Adelaide?
I would say spring. I feel like it's almost everywhere in the world. Just when you go out and it's springtime, just everything is, all the flower came out, all the trees are beautiful, all the animal came. I never see that many koalas since the last maybe 2-3 weeks here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's koala everywhere at the moment. You cannot just go for a run without seeing one. It's awesome.
I was looking at your Instagram profile and I saw a picture that you took of a koala up in a eucalyptus tree, and I was like, oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah, I usually just, I need to run some really bushland path to go find them usually, and at the moment they are everywhere.
Interesting. Is that just in relation to springtime? They're kind of more,
I guess, because it's my first spring here in Adelaide. I never did spring here. Just for that, I'm a bit surprised, but I love it.
Yeah, I would love that too. So, are there koala down in Tasmania?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think it's a bit too cold.
Yeah, because it's pretty far south.
Yeah, because it's really hot in the summer, but really cold in winter, and I don't think they like it that much.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about. So you're transitioning out of winter. We're transitioning in the northern hemisphere out of summer, and it's a relief for where I live for summer to be kind of cooling off, because it gets very hot and very humid, and it makes you can still go running. Like, I'll get up early to beat the heat. Like, I'll go running at like 4:30 in the morning, 5 a.m. But it's still, sometimes it can be full humidity and can be really tough. And right now our temperatures, we're having some really nice, more brisk mornings in which it's not as humid. It's a lovely time to run. But I got to say, springtime is also here. It's the same thing. Everything is green and lively. The temperatures are still pretty mild. It's a nice time to go running.
Yeah, when I was in Canada, I was loving this spring season. Just temperature are so fresh and just, it's awesome. Love it.
I think there's also like for me personally, there's a mental kind of boost coming out of winter. We have and maybe you experienced it in Toronto. Kansas has I live in Kansas, United States, and the winter's cold and very windy. And that wind, I just get sick of that wind, and I go running in that wind. And so with the spring, the wind calms down, the temperatures are a bit warmer, everything's turning green, there's more wildlife, and it just kind of gives me a mental boost going running at that time.
Yeah. For me right now, actually, because I was in France for the last 2 months and a half. I just came back. I came back beginning of the month. And basically, I spent the summer in France, and I'm coming back here, and we are transitioning in the summer again. That means I didn't have any winter for almost a year.
That's the way to do it.
I've been traveling to France during the summer and came back here. We're going to the summer. It will be almost a year and a half without winter at the end of this summer.
Nice. That's awesome. That's so cool. And where in France do you travel to?
I've been to see my family in the northwest in Brittany, and
Okay.
after with my partner, we had a van and we get down to the middle of France and to the Alps and just traveling, having fun, seeing all the friends and family everywhere. It was fun.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. That sounds like a lot of fun. So you lived it out of a van for a little bit and just went and explored and saw friends?
Yeah. I spent 3 weeks traveling, and just the
Nice.
rest of the time with my parents.
Right on. That's
Mm.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, let's start transitioning and talking some more about running. And I've gathered through your website, which is, www.nomadrunnerspirit.com, that you were not always a runner. And you bring a great perspective in that. For me, I have a long background in running. I ran in school, I ran in
Mm.
university, but I love talking to people that were not a runner and they've kind of figured it out on their own. They've gone through a lot of lessons and like how to manage themselves through these longer distances. And so I first want to start off with just kind of hearing like what got you into running in the first place.
I'm actually, before, I was quite a big smoker. I was smoking every day, just morning to night and everything. And when I meet my partner, she doesn't smoke. She never smoked. And we spent, a year, 2 years together. And because I was the only one smoking, I said, oh, why not try to stop? She's not smoking. I'm the only one in the family. Just let's do it. I quit smoking and I got bored. I had nothing to do, so much energy. Okay, let's go for a run. And I ran 2K on my first day and 3K on the next run and 5, 6, 7, 8. And since I never stopped, basically. I quit smoking, but now I'm a little bit addicted to running.
I love that. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've probably seen some really great health benefits too with running.
Oh, definitely. After I have the chance to have a really low heartbeat, and I was thinking the smoking will have damaged that a bit, but it's still pretty good. It's still hard for me to go to the exhaustion. But yeah, no, definitely health, energy is way better now since I'm running.
Yeah. And so one thing that I don't know if this is something you practice or not, this is something that I've kind of gotten into this past summer as I was trained. So I did a 100-mile race 10 days ago on September 15th. So it's September 25th here. And so part of that for training, I was like, okay, like I'm going to cut out my drinking. And so I stopped drinking for that. And I actually noticed some really good health benefits from that. And even psychological too, like less anxiety. I was waking up with more energy. I was less irritable. But I think like I just had overall more energy. And so I don't know if you've ever tried that one out, trying to, maybe go through a training stint, no drinking or something like that.
Yeah, we really often doing with my partner. We pick a month and we are not drinking during this month. We are together and everything. It's just easier when you have someone to do it with.
Yeah.
After, for me, when I'm going for a race, who is important for me, I'm usually don't drink for the months before, or
Yeah.
sometimes for 2 months prior the race. But I honestly, here in Australia, I discover Cooper's ultra light beer, and it's a
Okay.
non-alcoholic beer, but tastes like beer. They have
Interesting.
it,
I've not heard of that.
they have the same taste as the alcoholic beer.
Okay.
And honestly, my fridge is really often full of non-alcoholic beer, more than beer. And if I want to have a drink, is what I will take.
Yeah.
And many
Nice.
times I bring, when I'm going to friend's house and I know they will drink or anything, I will come with my pack of 6 of non-alcoholic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just for the social aspect.
Yeah, there's sometimes I feel like maybe a non-alcoholic beer could be kind of quenching too.
I don't know. Yeah, just for me, just I try so many of this non-alcoholic beer, but I discover I like the taste of beer than the alcohol itself.
Hmm.
And just when I discover this beer, non-alcoholic, who tastes like a beer, for me it's been a game changer. Just since sometimes I have beer in my fridge and non-alcoholic beer, I will still take a non-alcoholic beer. It doesn't matter. I can drink alcohol at the moment. I'm not in training, but I really like the taste of this non-alcoholic beer. Is
Nice.
and when you discover this kind of thing, is a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And, like I said, for me, I noticed with giving up drinking, definitely some good benefits
Yeah,
psychologically in terms of energy and stuff like that. So it was
definitely,
fantastic. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
So you're a certified coach through the United Endurance Sport Coaching Academy. And I've never heard of the United Endurance Sport Coaching Academy, and
All
I
right.
looked it up a little bit in preparation for this episode. But I thought maybe, I think it's great to have a certification as a running coach. But would you tell me some more about what your certification process looked like? What were the things that you learned about?
Yeah, definitely. Basically, when I signed for it, I didn't know what to expect. And what I find really great in their qualification is before learning anything about coaching, running, or anything, you have a full, maybe 3 or 4 module about the human body. And you
Mm,
feel like to go back in school and, just to relearn everything. This bone, this muscle, what is a molecule, what the muscle work, how it works, just what is related, tendon, muscle, everything. And when you learn this first module and you know how the running mechanic work, after that on the module, they start to teach you how to coach running exercise. But you cannot, for then, you cannot coach if you don't know a minimum of the human body,
yeah.
because it's what you see of them, just when you take a training plan online and you do it, sometimes it's too hard for your level and it's where you injure yourself. This coaching course, they will teach you everything about the body before the exercise. Same like that, you understand how to create exercise, to create training without overdoing on the body. And I think for me, it's been awesome to learn all of this. And when people ask me about USCA, say, yeah, for me, it's the best. Go for it. Just you will learn something in their course. You will learn something for sure.
Yeah, I gotta imagine it probably benefited you as an athlete too.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what? One thing I've been surprised is was when I was learning the course, I was going through the module, and sometimes just they will speak, oh, if you do that, you will get that injury and everything. And I was yes, but 2 years ago when I was in pain in my left leg, in my knees, maybe it was that. Oh, that. Oh, but yeah, connection of both of them. But yeah. And
Yeah.
I discovered so many mistakes I did in my first 2 years of running, when I have pain, I discover why, because I was learning about it, learning about the human body, learning about the running mechanic. And it's where I discover all the mistakes I did and all the pain I did. Now I know where they're coming from.
Yeah, it's almost like those mistakes that you made were actually meant to kind of happen in a way so that you did learn about that so then you could bring that knowledge to other people.
Yeah, that's it. And when I coach someone, is really of then I say to the athlete, I say, all right, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physio or anything, but if you get pain somewhere, let me know. First, I can recommend you to go see a health professional, or you have a lot of chance I already encountered this pain in my career. If you
Yeah.
have a pain on the left, right knees, just let me know where exactly, what kind of pain. That is a lot of chance I already had it. I can tell you if you need to rest, if you need to go to see a physio, if you need to ice it, if you just, and on top of that, with the course, just to have all this, I want to say, just all this material, or now I know where the pain from, just is make it easy for me to advise an athlete on their pain.
And I think one of the interesting things about running pain too is being able to identify what types of pains might lead to injury and what types of pains maybe can be worked through with some cross training or a little bit of stretching, and being able to identify those differences. I think there's something that that takes some good coaching to explain those differences too.
Yeah, I think the hardest is to see if it's injury pain or if it's just soreness pain.
Yeah.
Because you don't treat them the same. If it's soreness, it's kind of good because you've been using the muscle, you stop at the right moment, and now it's recovering. And you have to rest. There's no other way to do it. You have to rest. If you have a pain is an injury, and you do it a little bit too much, you get bigger injury.
Yeah.
And I think this difference to find between injury pain and soreness pain is the hardest to level to see. But when you know your body and you listen to your body, you will find it pretty easy at one point.
Yeah, and I think that's a really great thing that you just said, that gaining that intuitiveness to listen to your body and really knowing your body's signals, I think is a big part of the development of a runner. And having those experiences and being able to identify what's really bad, what can I kind of work through, what can I roll out, what can I stretch, but gaining that intuitiveness. And then I think that also transfers over to when you're doing longer races, because you're going to have a lot of pains and aches, say doing a 100-mile race or a 200-mile race, and being able to really understand your body in that way. That's some tough, it's a fine line.
For me, I did the 2 times 100-mile race in Tasmania. And the first year I got some pain, but definitely it was just because my body was getting sore because of the effort. And it was pain, it was annoying, but it was fine. I was able to keep on going. My second year, around of the 70K mark, I felt a pain in my knees, and I was knowing straight away, this is not soreness. This is something else, and I have to just, at the next rest, to stop, to check, and to decide if I keep on going with or not. But on the first feeling of the pain, I was already know it. This is not soreness. This is something else.
Right.
Just, I have to be careful on it before taking any decision. But when you're able to identify this, it's great. But I think the only thing give me the opportunity to identify the pain straight away when it appear is because I know my body, because I've been running many years listening my body. Soon I have a pain, I stop and I check what is it. If it's nothing, I will take back running the next day. But it's many people, and here still people with who I run, just, I'm in pain here, Thibault, what do you think? I think you should rest. Okay. We going to run this afternoon? No, just tell you should rest. Just don't ask me to come with you for a run,
That's funny.
But, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physio, I'm just a coach. I advise.
Right.
People listen or not, it's me, I can't do anything with them.
Yeah. So let's hear some more about your coaching service. What does your coaching service look like, and how do you cater towards all these different unique types of individuals out there that might have unique goals?
Yeah. Me, right now I try to specialize myself really for ultra distance. Just, I want to get more coaching people for very long distance. At the moment, I have someone in Canada for a marathon. I think will be the last person I take for under 50 to 80K. After is always, if someone need my my coaching, and if she's not going for an ultra long distance, yeah, maybe I will help the person. We have to discuss, but yeah, I'm trying really to go for ultra long distance now as a coach. And for me, what I do is first we go for a chat over the phone, and I gather some information about the runner, just what's the longest distance they run, what's their PB on 10K, stuff like that, just to have some data for me to be able to check and everything. And I do 2 weeks training, something like that. When I send you the training, you have your training for the next 2 weeks. And when we are done with this, just on your second week, I'm starting to make your 2 next week. But I'm working with what you run. Each run you will do, I will go to Strava and I will analyze your run. Same like that, I'm making your next run a little bit harder, but with what you did. If you do a 5K, I'm not put you 70K the next week. I'm not, I'm not jumping, or I will not put just, 50% harder, or no, we will go gradually, little bit by a little bit. But on your race day, you will be ready for the distance.
Mm-hmm.
If someone say, I need your coaching service, I want to do this distance and I want to be in the top 3, is a different, training program. We have to work on your speed, on your VO2. We have to work on a lot of things, and that is different. But yeah, I like to work 2 weeks by 2 weeks, and each week is made from your previous week. Just if I told you, I don't know, say now, Monday, go run 5K at 4-minute pace. This is because the week before you run, let me know you are able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you don't tell me, I have no pain last week, okay, let's keep going. If tell me, I start to feel some pain in my knees or anything, maybe we will just get a week rest, or we'll go a little bit slower, give the recovery to the body to go to the next step. But yeah, it's mostly like that. I'm working just step by step, and is working is what I do with me, and I pass in 4 years of running. In 4 years, I've been able to finish 100-mile race under 24 hours, from 0 to 100-mile.
Yeah, nice. I like that you kind of you're working it week by week there. And then is Strava your primary app that you're using to monitor your athletes?
Yeah, is what I ask to all my athletes, is to be on Strava. If they want to use Garmin or Coros or whatever, do whatever you want for you to check your run. But me, I need your run to be on Strava. Is where I can see the most. Me, I pay for Strava. I have all the things. I can go to your run and see all your detail and everything. Everything you see on your Garmin, I can see it on Strava, basically. It's for that I ask for the people to have Strava, and it's easier. But yeah, I spend a lot of my time when I make a training program for someone to analyze their previous run. I think is the most of I do, is to analyze their run to make the next one at the right pace, the right distance, something like that. But yeah,
I could definitely see that being that analysis. If you're doing it with a caring way, you're doing it with a lot of detail, it's going to take time. It's just how it goes. Like, that's what that process looks like.
That's it. And I will not just check your distance, your time, get the average, say, okay, well, let's do that. No, maybe I will do that for some easy recovery run, or I just don't need much data. I just must run on the feeling. If I see you just did your run, feel good, whatever. But on the specific run where we work on your speed or on your VO2 max or distance, I usually go and check K by K the time, the average pace, and see where you get slower, where you've been faster. If you were in the city, I usually after just check the map if you have many crossing lights or crossing street or things like that. If you're in the trail, I will just usually check the elevation at this pass to know if the reason you've been slower or if it's just your body just didn't want to run anymore. Or, it's a lot of things happen. But yeah, spend a lot of time to analyze run of the people and the map and everything go with.
Yeah. So it hasn't been, not since I was probably for like 20, I haven't talked about VO2 max in probably like 25 years. Like since like one of my like childhood coaches talked about it. And I don't even remember how to help someone increase their VO2 max. Can you remind me, tell me about what VO2 max is and how to increase it?
The VO2 max is the maximum of oxygen consumption your body is able to do it. And the most effective way to progress and to increase it is a lot of people will say speed training, and yes, speed training help, but it's not really speed training. It's basically training your heart to go higher without to go to the exhaustion. If you push too high and too long, and you arrive at the stage or you out of energy, you cannot go back for a 200 run after. Just you're done, you've been too strong on your interval. I think the two better way to do VO2 max is interval training and SSR. SSR is what I call steady state run, is when most people will call it threshold run, is when you have to identify your pace or your heartbeat is working at its maximum potential without to be exhausted. And that is to keep for 10 minutes this pace, basically. And your heart will pumping. And when you are at the limit to go over this capacity is where you stop and you relax. And it's basically a muscle. Just you work it. When it's too much, let it recover. He will grow himself. And after a week or two after, start it again and let him recover. It's everything in the human body work like that. Do a little bit to progress and recover. Little bit to progress and recover. It takes time. You cannot improve your VO2 max in a week or two. You need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. It's one of the hardest thing, I guess, to train properly. And I usually do it when people ask me to do it. But when you're a trailer and you go for a long distance, VO2 max is good for your endurance, but it's not the main focus of the training.
Got it. Okay, so maybe that's why I haven't talked about VO2 max in a long time. But when I was in high school, we were training for stuff that was 5Ks. Maybe VO2 max is more important for 5Ks than, I primarily focus on doing 100-mile races.
Yeah, no, it is mostly for the people who do road running. Just road runner will speak a lot about VO2 max. Yeah. Trailer, a little bit, but it's not a focus, really. Just me, I use it with the athlete I coach because recently I got not a lot, but a good amount of athletes who were not runner before. And they want to go to the ultra distance. And we basically have kind of to start from zero to extreme distance. And I want them to just work a bit on their VO2 max, because if I took them on a 10K run on trail with the hills and everything. After 3K, they're dying. They cannot follow. You have to be at least a little bit, but is not a focus if you're already a runner who never focus on your VO2 max. You already have yours. It's just, you can always go higher, but it's not a focus.
Yeah. That's fantastic that you're working with athletes so that, they don't have that background in running. I think you probably relate to them pretty strongly with getting them, into those ultra distances.
Yeah. I actually have one just contact me right now. He did a bit of running before, but nothing crazy. And he did his first marathon maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
Okay.
And he asked me, he said, I have one race I want to do. I'm not sure I will do any race after. And I want you to coach me for it. It's a MGS, the Marathon des Sables in Morocco. It's 250K over 7 days in the desert in Africa. But he did his first marathon 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he said, I want to go run 250K in the desert. So, yeah. All right, we will work on it.
Love it. That's awesome. That's going to be a good adventure.
I love it because, just this is what I do as well for myself. I like to push myself. I like to go further and further, and to have someone who has kind of the same mentality of me. I say, oh, I never did that, but I want to do this. For me, it's perfect. Is what I love, I had to make him ready to run 250K in the desert. Perfect. Let's do it. I took maybe a week or two to think about it through and see if I was able to take him for the challenge. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Gosh, Thibault, I'm loving how you quitting smoking has led you to this point, and you're doing something with your life that you love. You're helping other people through that love. It's just fantastic to hear. And I wanted to hear though too about what you have on your calendar for 2024, because I know you're kind of bumping up some distances. You got a big challenge ahead of you. So what's going on your calendar for 2024?
Okay. For me, basically, just my goal for the last year or two was to beat the 24-hour marks on a 100-mile race. I did it last year with Tassie Tri-Fest in Tasmania. And I did the 100-mile race in 23 hours, 23 minutes. This race have over 5,000 meter elevation. That's it. And in Tasmania, it's not. It was actually good weather last year, but the year before was in the middle of the winter. It was crazy. And since I did it, I say, okay, now I want to go for 200-mile race. I did my goal of 100 mile under 24 hours. I want 200-mile race.
Wow.
And I was looking for what's happened about 200-mile race in Australia, And at one point, I find this website called Ultra Series, and I check, and they say just they organize 3 races of 200 miles. So, oh, cool, can pick one. And I did, and I saw just if you do the 3 of them, in 3 years, you get the trilogy. What's it called? Or you get the title of I think it's a trilogy or something like that. And I discovered just after that, if you do it in 1 year, you get the Grandmaster Triple Crown title.
Oh.
And it's been a switch. So call my partner, say, okay, I find something. We have to discuss big project.
Big project.
In the evening, I expose all my points to my partner, say, this is what I want, this is what I would like to do. What do you see? Took 5 minutes to convince her, say, okay, let's do it. We make it happen. And now, since we say, okay, we start it. And now the project for us is next year is at February is 200-mile race in Western Australia. April is a 200-mile race in South Australia, and in August, the last one is in Queensland. And
Wow.
they are big race, lot of elevation. The weather will be crazy. The first one in February, WA, this is summer. Just it will be between 40, around 40 degrees Celsius. Just all along the race, just it can maybe go down cooler temperature at night, around 35. But it will be insane. The weather, the temperature will be insane.
Wow. Do you think it'll be tougher to go back in April after doing the February race, or do you think it'll be harder to do the third race in August because you've had a big gap between races?
I actually don't know. It's not something I
It's all
experienced
new.
already.
Yeah.
It will be. I actually didn't think about that. You make me dumb now. No. It's not something I think about it. But yeah, I think in my mind the hardest one will be the April one to go just short recovery, but
right, short recovery.
All depends of how everything go on the first one as well. Just if I don't injure myself, if I don't have any problem, the recovery at the end should be quite fast.
Mm-hmm.
I have a good team here who give me support. There is a clinic close to my home called Connect Healthcare, and I have a chiropractor, podiatrist, and a sport master here that are there, and they look after me during all my training. I'm going to see them maybe once a month each, and just is what we decide with them. Their job is to take care of my body to prevent injury. They say we don't want to fix an injury, we want to prevent them. It's for that I'm going to see really of them, and as soon as I have a pain, I'm going to see them, because we don't want me to be injured. It's the only thing. Just if everything go well on the first race, the 2 months I have before the second one, there will be a lot of time with them just to see how the body reacts for the distance and get ready for the next one. After training wise, I think it will be really just easy training. It will nothing crazy. Just keep the distance in and just easy run.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will not have lose too much, I think, from the first one
to the second. Yeah. And I think you're absolutely right. Like preventing those injuries is going to be immensely important towards, finishing off your goal in August.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm almost expected some injury.
Right.
I'm not just saying, I will not get injured. No, I think when you reach this kind of distance between all your training and everything, I think some minor injury will appear. I have to be ready.
It's inevitable, probably.
Yeah, and we are not professional or anything. Me, every day I get up and I go to work. Just, I don't have this time at home to recover or anything. I'm not a professional. I'm working full time during my week, on top of the training, on top of everything else.
Wow.
It's.
Yeah.
I think for this kind of distance and this kind of training, you have to expect the minor injury.
Mm-hmm.
And is where you have to be smart and stop it before it gets bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. And have a team behind you too. It sounds like you got a great team behind you.
Yeah. They're just young and just pretty knowledgeable. They've been doing what they do for a while. When I come to them with my project, it was okay. Definitely we will help you. Definitely we do something. They're so happy. They're crazy about it. They're just
good,
exciting. We are all here.
Very.
Now we just have to go for it.
Yeah. And so you got your first race in February. how many months in advance will you be specifically training for that 200 miler in the West?
I'm actually already. This month was really just set up my work with fixed hours to not have too many change or anything, and set up my training properly. So that means that from next month, from next week, basically, I'm
Yep.
going into proper training. Will be
Okay.
specific workout, specific distance, get my mileage every week, and work through it. Yeah.
Okay. What's
But
the date? What's the date of the race in February?
which it is mid-February. We should be
Mid-February.
yeah, it should be around of the 12.
Okay. So you pretty much like if it's the end of September, so you essentially have about 4.5 months of training. That
Yeah,
sounds perfect. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm not starting from zero. I have my
Right.
background already. Just last week I've been running 100K
Nice.
in the week, and I was just trying to fit all my training in without just I was not in full training mode, and I ran 100K. Just I have a background of running. It's not I don't do
Right.
couch to 200 milers.
That'd be hardcore. Yeah.
But yeah, after is training will be tough, and I think just I have to think smart to plan it more than anything else, but it will be fine. I'm
So
confident.
do you have your whole team formed? Like you got, you said you got all the, chiropractors, everyone's going to help you physically. Do you have all your support crew ready too that are going to be helping you in February, April, and August?
That is another question. My partner just jump on it and say, "All right, I'm I will be your main support for during all the races. Means she will come with me. She will drive the car. She will have food ready for me. What we are looking for now is one or two people who will be able to join us, and if runner people, because I think for each race I'm allowed have pacer only on the last 100K of the race. And what we want is the one or two person who can be with my partner in the car as a crew. But for the last 100K of each race, basically the pacer just come with me for 25, 50, 75, 100K if they want. But yeah, to have someone for the last distance of the race, because I guess is where you get really tired and can be really just unfocused of the run, and
I bet. I bet,
we'll
and
see.
probably like they would having one or two of these people to do the last 100K with you. It's a safety precaution.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. When I did the 100-mile race, I was a lot pacer as well for the end, and just to have someone just run ahead of you, and just you don't have to focus on any just thing can come on your side, animal, just hole or anything. Just you have someone roads, rocks.
right.
Just you make your life so much easier. You just have to just put yourself, focus on your body, and just make it happen. It
Totally.
just
And it helps to have someone just to follow along the course too. Like you don't have to be like looking for the flagging or anything or any turns
mm,
like that. You just have this body ahead. Like I like to have a pace like 5 or 10 yards ahead of me, and I can just put my head down and follow this person. Like I don't have to
is
think.
is that I did the dark to just follow a light, to have nothing else to follow,
Yes.
just a light. It just just
Yeah.
after here as well in Australia, just we have the big kangaroo here, and sometimes they are in the bush, you don't see them, and when you arrive, they scare and they leave. It's so scary all the time,
Mm.
just you run and just at less than 1 meter on your side you didn't see. You have a 180 meters animal just ready to jump.
Jeez.
Just it's scary, but they can attack, but it's rare. It's rare. It's
Yeah.
never happening. But it just they're in the bush. You don't see them. You don't hear them, and it just at the last minute, and they are scared and they jump away. Just they scare you as well.
Yeah.
It's And when it's this kind of press, when you're tired, you have someone who run ahead of you, all the kangaroo will be already scared and left. Something like that. You don't have this thing just surprise you all the time, or you just, a lot of small things like that. Just the pacer is a lifesaver on the end of this kind of run.
Yeah, nice. Well, Thibault, I think this is a fantastic adventure that you have ahead of you. You got, as we talked about, you're going for the Grandmaster Triple Crown, 3 200 milers. If there's anyone that's listening out there that does want to help out, 1 or 2 people, help with crewing, help pacing in the last 100K, reach out to Thibault. Thibault, what's your Instagram profile?
Is Thibault, THIBAULT.running.
Cool. And then you also have your website, which I don't know if that would be the preferred way. What would you have people prefer to reach out to? Probably Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, or just via the website with the page. I have a page on the website is right contact.
Okay.
Send an email here.
Okay, nice. And so for those listening out there, that website's www.nomadrunnerspirit.com. Oh, well, Thibault, go for it.
Before we leave, I would like just to make a big shout out to Pix. For anyone who don't know it, Pix is an electrolyte made by someone in Australia, by Vlad Excel. He's the next professional trail runner. He has the Pix active, he has Pix recovery as well. This is the electrolyte I use, and is one of my main sponsors for the project.
Right on.
When I discuss with him, he accepts to basically just sponsor me and give me all my electrolyte for the project.
Okay.
Try Pix, no gluten, vegan friendly, no dairy, safe for everyone.
Right on. Well, I'm vegan, so that's fantastic.
But honestly, I've been using many of other brands since the beginning I run. Since I tried Pix for the first time, I switched on, and now I only use Pix.
Okay.
I never had, just burning stomach or anything since I use Pix.
Love it. Yeah, and digestion can get really hard later in the race. That's something that's pretty common as the body gets stressed. So that's great to hear about Bix. And so it's just like a electrolyte pill that you drop in your water and it's kind of effervescent?
That can show you just.
Okay.
It's basically a pill
like
that.
Nice.
Drop
Excellent.
in your bottle and that's it.
All right. Well, I'll have to check out Bix.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
And tastes really good. Love the taste. Love everything.
Good. Well, I had not heard of Bix, so thanks for sharing that.
He's an Australian athlete to do that, but he's been developing that just Australia and Europe. I don't know if you have much on your side of the planet, but
okay,
definitely worth it to try. I don't say just everyone will like it, but if you can, just try it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll keep my eyes peeled for it. That's great. Like I said, I'm vegan, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Thibault. Well, this has been great. I'm glad that we got to connect. I loved hearing about your coaching service. Thanks for teaching me about VO2 Max. I had forgotten about all that stuff. That was great to hear about. And I wish you the best of luck with your big adventures in 2024 with going after the Grandmaster Triple Crown.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was great.
You're welcome. It's been an honor. All right, Thibault. We'll call it an episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.